Good afternoon, everyone. It's that time again. You know it's Hump Day. And if it's Hump Day, you know you are waiting patiently for the man of the hour, the Sultan of Silver, the Baron of Bitcoin, the Gandalf of Gold, the Pathfinder to the Road to Ruta, the man who wears his heart on his sleeve and spaghetti stains on his shirt pocket, I think. But anyway, he is the man, the myth, the legend, the enigma all in one. He is known as Bix Weir. Bix, welcome back.
Hello, stud. How are you?
I'm hanging in there, man. I know you have a very busy time. You were saying that you were so incredibly busy. Like, what's going on, bro?
The most exciting thing that's happened is my pole beans that I planted about a week ago are started to sprout out of the dirt, and so my green thumb is actually turning real green instead of the putrid green that it used to be.
Dude, I've killed every plant I own in my house.
You better fix that because you're gonna have to start growing your own vegetables very soon.
I, I think I might have to. The way things are
Sprouts,
going.
sprouts are easy. They take 3 days, and just you got to just buy the seeds and put a little
Man,
water in them
forget
and let them
sprouts, man. My philosophy is go big or go home. I'm gonna go
sit.
get the aquaponics kit where I'm gonna be growing asparagus with the tilapia swimming underneath it.
Yeah, we know what you're gonna grow with that. There's
I
no
don't know what you're
doubt.
talking about. I don't, I can't smoke anything.
Right, but
I
that's
have an
it's a
aversion to
great
it, except
it's
cigars. I do like cigars.
it's a great barter crop though if you're looking to barter.
You know what? You're right. You know what? In that case, I might as well start my aquaponic dream and have my own little medical marijuana just for
What's
bartering.
what's the deal with the medical marijuana in New York? Have you guys changed your laws yet?
No, not yet. We're still medical. We're still medical. It's just weird.
Well, how
This is
many
the weirdest state in the union when it
can
comes to
you can
politics.
you grow plants? Or is it legal to grow? Like in California, I think it's
I don't
legal.
know, but I'm convinced my next door neighbor, who's an old woman, is definitely growing. I mean, she's got plants all over the place, and I'm definitely sure that in her one of the windows that that peeks out into her driveway, I could have
You're
sworn.
staring at her through her window. Nice.
No, dude, these plants are unavoidable. They look like giant marijuana trees. I swear to you.
I believe
I think her and her husband are hitting the doobie, man, every night. I think that's what's happening. That's why they're always so happy. It's like
hitting the doobie. All right.
I mean, seriously, man. I mean, the other day the guy's car got smashed. He was like the happiest guy in the world. I mean, his brand new car is ruined, and he's fine. Everything's great. I'm like, wow, they're definitely on it, bro. I'm totally convinced.
Well, people in California aren't as happy these days. I mean, we used to be the happy-go-lucky state, and now
Not
there's
anymore.
riots. There's riots every time I turn around in Berkeley.
Well, that's what happens. I mean, that's what the far left does to places, man. It turns it into crapville. I mean, look at Moldy Locks. Have you seen Moldy Locks?
No, what's that?
Moldy Locks was the girl who got punched in the forehead by the Iraq war vet during the Antifa protests in Berkeley. She became very popular.
Oh, I don't know.
She's
I
that
have no idea.
grungy-looking white girl with the dreads. I don't know why people do that. Like they put on these dreads. They're not black and they're wearing dreads. It just looks dirty on them. And this girl looks like she hasn't bathed in like 5 days, and she gets hit on the forehead. And they're showing a picture, and the reason why I bring that up is they're showing a picture online through Rebel Media, various other shows, of what this girl looked like when she was in 2013. 2013, she looked like Americana. It's just a sweet girl, no just a nice looking girl, no very wholesome, and now she is like this, dreadlocked, grungy, moldy locks,
She went to college,
tattooed,
baby.
very
That's what
hard-headed porn
she
star.
went to
Just
college at Berkeley. That's what
That's
happens to you.
exactly what it is. She attends college at Berkeley. I mean, this is what they do, man. That's what.
This is
So
America, V. You can dress or look any way you want. This is
you
America.
could, but there's a limit. I've charted this
There's
out
the V
in my
limit.
office. In my office, I have this wall chart. I have this wall chart that says far left liberalism and happiness. So the higher the far left liberalism goes, the lower the happiness scale. So that is exactly what you're facing in California right now.
Sounds so scientific.
It is. I've been tracking this. I'll share this info with you.
Yeah,
But
the other problem is that when you give free stuff to people and then you try to take it away, that's where the problem happens. That's
it
why
is.
socialism never works in
Yeah,
the
that's
end.
why I've been I don't know if I told you this, bro, but here I want to admit this deep dark secret for the first time in all of YouTube history. Um, I am very curious about Sasquatch,
Oh, it's real.
dude. Now,
I believe every conspiracy is real until proven false.
That's a good mindset to have. That's a good way of looking at it. So they were saying that if you're feeding Sasquatch, don't ever feed them because once you start feeding them, they get really pissed off and they might like snap your neck or something.
Is that your theory?
That's what they're saying. I kind of
Who's
believe it.
they? Who's they?
The guys who are leaving out food and stuff, who had their homes, like their tractors, picked up and thrown 20 yards and stuff. Those guys.
Okay. Okay.
Don't piss
Okay.
off Bigfoot, man. It's like Jack Links, bro. He's not some like peaceful wood ape. He's a savage animal.
Well, Pacific Northwest, near where I live, is like the hot spot for Bigfoot sightings. So, yeah, they have all kinds of roadside attractions. Get your Bigfoot paraphernalia.
So you're giving me another reason to come and visit you now.
I know. I don't know if you'd survive.
Plus, you and your
Northern
infrared.
California, there's no way you would survive.
Coming out to where? Northern California?
Northern California, yeah.
I don't know. I think with you and your electric scooter, how about you and I just ride around town in your electric scooter? That would be a sight to see. Two big guys on a tiny electric scooter.
It's only one. It only holds one. It's illegal to ride two on that thing.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. It can go on the bike lane. It can legally go on the bike lane. So if there's traffic, I just zoom right through the bike lane.
I will hitch a Radio Flyer red wagon to the back of your scooter. We'll get around that way. We'll do our whole entire silver tour from that coin shop. We'll do a whole show from there. That'll be great.
Yeah, they'd love it.
That'll be killer.
Well, I'm in, especially if it's about silver these days. And I've been just a madman and trying to put videos on my YouTube channel about the 17 years of research I've been doing in silver. And it's opened up 2-3 videos.
You think the moonshot is coming, my man?
Oh yes, oh yes, and it's, well, first of all, you have the world's most criminal bank, J.P. Morgan, is completely positioned for a moonshot in physical silver.
Wow!
And they have because they've taken delivery of over 600 million ounces, and when you think about that in relation to the Hunt brothers, who took delivery of, I think it was 90 million ounces, and then the government came in, shut them down, said you're trying to corner the market. But now, what is it, 27 years later, 37 years later, what is it? Yeah, 37 years later. After all that silver has been consumed, J.P. Morgan walks up and has a long position of 6 times what the Hunt brothers had, and yet the government's not shutting them down. J.P. Morgan is positioning themselves for the largest gain in the history of banks when silver goes to $10,000 an ounce overnight.
It's going to be an absolutely massive thing, man. I think, I just got an email from a buddy of mine stating that one of the biggest silver producers, their production is down, I think like 20% or something like that.
Yeah, and in Peru, right?
Yeah, it was one of the biggest ones. I mean, Peru and Mexico, they crank out a lot.
Well, they're insane. Any country that exports silver is insane. They should be sticking it in their vault and waiting. So Mexico has been abused like you would not believe. I think it's around 20 billion ounces of silver has been produced by Mexico in human history, which is like 1/3 of all silver produced. It's literally come out of the ground in Mexico, and they gave it away. They're giving away their silver right now. I think it's 75% of what they produce, they export. Insanity. They could be the richest country in the world, but they play into the banksters' games and destroy their population by giving away free silver.
Well, you got Soros' best buddy, who's like the head honcho over there, which is Carlos Slim. That doesn't help their situation one bit. I think the narcos.
Carlos is one of the only silver hedgers out there. He owns a mining company that hedges silver.
He's also a cocaine hedger. Did you know that?
Oh, he's a criminal. He's with the bad guys. There's a list of bad guys that will be taken out.
Well, you check this out, man. I mean, we have Carlos Slim. His construction company helped extend the international airport in Mexico City, one of which is the major terminal for cargo. What's that all about?
Yeah, I wonder if he's bidding on the Mexico Wall project.
You know what? That's a good question. I mean, he does have like the biggest, or one of the biggest, construction companies there. That would be funny if he is. That would be.
That wouldn't go over well politically with him, though.
Wouldn't, unless of course he no one says nothing. Well, we'll
Yeah.
see how that
A
goes.
subsidiary of a subsidiary of a subsidiary.
How's the California weather out there, man? You still being deluged?
Raining, rain,
Oh,
off and
dude, you
on
gotta be
rain.
kidding me. That's like 1,000 days of rain so far.
It's not all. Yeah, we have our little breaks right now. There's a little break. I heard some birds chirping. The skies were clear last night, and I filmed one of the little alien ships flying around. I put it on YouTube. If you're,
I saw that one.
it's not a good one. It's way up there, and it's just a white dot moving around. But there's much better ones. I just went out for 5 minutes, and that's what I saw, so I posted it. But the skies haven't been clear for so long, and there's a lot of reports coming out of Arizona with new things going on in the sky that they cannot, they've never seen before. It's like
Like what?
building some platform, some monster platform in the sky or something like that. Just rumors right now, but apparently there's a lot of sightings going on all around the Arizona area.
I mean, Arizona's always been a creepy place.
Well, yeah, you got
You
the,
get to like
the
Sedona and
Dulce,
stuff.
the Dulce military place where they basically they had partnerships supposedly with aliens. Here's something funny is my take on Trump. I think he's doing this all on purpose, and it's all part of a bigger plan. The only guy who's come out and agreed with me is David Wilcock. David Wilcock is?
Of course, from Gaia.
Yeah. I love him, but his contacts are telling him basically what the Road to Root theory says is Trump's doing this all on purpose to both deflect the Russian connection ties, which they're going to drop that lawsuit or the criminal investigations very soon, and to point the finger at Obama as being a horrible guy, which everybody is saying, well, Obama screwed up Syria, Obama screwed up healthcare, Obama was spying. So now Obama is the dog, and Trump is turning into the guy the media loves. So it's really interesting what's going on. But I think it has more to do with the looming takedown of the system. He doesn't want it blamed on his policies. He doesn't want it blamed on his policies for getting more jobs and all that. He wants it blamed on Obama and what he had inherited. And he's talking a lot more about what he had inherited now.
Yeah.
And then when the system crashes, you're going to see the arrests, which is going to be really disruptive. Supposedly a third of Congress is going to go down with the pedophilia stuff. So yeah, it's all coming around, and the game goes on behind the scenes. The good guys have won. Is just taking out these little pockets of bad guys all over the place, and then crashing the system to start fresh again. So that's what we have to look forward to.
Well, with my aquaponics setup, I should be fine.
But with aquaponics, you need power.
Solar, man. You don't think I've been paying attention to you in your solar power scooter and your solar power generator?
Yeah, you should. You should be paying attention. I don't. That
Speaking of YouTube videos, what's up with you and karaokeing, bro? Huge rave reviews. Rave reviews.
I love that carpool karaoke. You ever seen that? I'm sure you've seen it.
Oh yeah, of course.
The regular one. Yeah, the one with Adele was just awesome. I love that. So I gave it I've been getting bored, and you gotta mix it up a little on YouTube. You can't talk about silver all day or gold all day or Bitcoin all day or Trump all day. You gotta throw in some entertainment. So lots of good things planned on that front.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So what's going on with gold mining, man?
Speaking of gold, California. So
don't tell me the gold rush is on again.
The gold rush is on, baby. It is on.
You kidding?
It's not
really?
on yet. Well, the people who have been mining for a while go out to the streams. It's more recreational. But with this increase of rain, you're getting more and more gold washed out of the soils, and gold's a heavier metal, so it sticks into the creek beds, and they're selling out of sluice boxes. You know what a sluice box is?
Yeah, that's where you shift the gold, right?
Yeah, you dump in a lot of aggregate, sand and rocks and stuff, and you run water through it, and the gold sticks to the bottom, and then you have to pan it out and all that stuff. So individual gold mining is really kicking in, and people it's going to be a destination soon, according to Cliff High's data. As the word gets, just think if gold goes to $20,000 an ounce, people are going to be looking for gold everywhere. They're going to be pulling out fillings to get the gold. So I think there's going to be. I'm setting up a lemonade booth for everybody coming to Northern California to, because they're going to get hot and tired when they're out there panning for gold. So I'm going to set up my little lemonade booth out by the stream and sell lemonade.
That's a great idea. Sell
So
some lemonade and.
If you ever read about the California Gold Rush, the guy who made the most money in that was it Levi? The guy who invented Levi's, because he bought up all like the mining shovels and all that,
Yeah,
and created an empire, with the jeans, and so yeah, that was everybody else is out there hard working trying to find scraps, but the smart guys had set up bars and saloons and let the other guys go do all the hard work and have them spin their gold nuggets in the bar.
there you go. That's one way of doing it. I'm gonna set up a lemonade stand with you. Right. You can also sell lemonade and medicinal marijuana.
I don't think you'd be allowed in California. Although, yeah, you just recently came to California, huh? In the
yes.
Where were you? You were down south in middle of nowhere.
Where I was, man. Cali's just not a place I'm very familiar with. The
only
place
you were down in below Modesto, right? Way down.
I think so. Yeah. I think the only place that I used to love taking business trips to Cali was San Diego. Every time I go to San Diego, I want to quit my life and just open up a bicycle rental shop and like rent flip flops to like tourists, and that's it. That's all I would do. Like, cool. I would just live on the beach. I wouldn't go on. 70-something degrees all year round, no humidity. It is the ideal destination.
Tijuana, 5 minutes away.
Right, and I got all the homeless people there that I could just hang out with, and wonderful.
Yeah, and you'd blend right in, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would. I would just wear like my monkey suit. I don't even bother shaving. Just blend right in. Like, yo, mom, dad, look, it's an ape. He's making us rent bicycles.
We're ready for you. We're ready for you. So let's talk about the Trump
360.
360.
What is the Phil Trump 360? What is that, dude?
The Trump 360 is he has all the alt media's up in arms, going crazy, yourself included. That Trump has let him down.
I told you I'm on suicide watch. I told you that already.
I know. So let's look at all the things he 360'd on. There's Russia. He went from the buddy of Russia to about to go to nuclear war with Russia. There's the healthcare bill. Trump completely flipped and said, no, I'm not going to, we're going to pass this healthcare bill. And he's going to say, no, we're just going to wait till it crashes. His war stance on war. We're in all these countries we shouldn't be in, and now he's going into all these countries. The China manipulation. China is a currency manipulator. Now China's not a currency manipulator. NATO is used to be obsolete. Now it's no longer obsolete. He's even turning on Steve Bannon. This all had to be done. It had to be a complete con of everybody to get what he needed done. And what he needed done was to get into position for the collapse, to get the people on his side when the collapse happens, because he's the guy who's going to have to, he's in charge of the workout of America. And he's done it for many of his companies that he's declared bankruptcy, and then he goes through a workout and rejiggers everything and starts things back up again. That's what he's going to have to do to America. So right now it's everybody in the alt media is pissed off, and they are playing their part. They aren't doing it consciously. They have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. But behind the scenes, I think it's only me and David Wilcock know what's going on. It's the good guys are winning this battle. They're just taking out the few bad actors now, and very soon we're looming the total collapse of the system, the monetary system, which is where the bad guys get all their power. And from what I hear,
if he takes out all the bad guys, will that mean he'll take out his son-in-law as well?
Oh yeah. There's no love there. Oh, that's another thing he flipped on.
What do you know about that guy, man? Like,
he's a criminal.
Thank you. He's a total criminal.
Yeah.
And he's a globalist.
And he's knee deep with Soros and all the bad guys.
$250 million knee deep.
Yep. So, yeah. Trump has no. Didn't Trump fire his brother at some point?
Yeah, he did.
He's got no problem destroying his son-in-law. If he's a bad guy, he's a bad guy, and it goes to Trump too. If Trump's a bad guy and has any of this pedophilia in his background, he should go to jail with the rest of them. I don't think he does, because he is kind of pushing along the investigation into the pedophilia stuff, and
Right.
we're getting near the end of that. But
So
we'll
you're saying
see.
the arrest will come after the collapse?
Well, the arrests on the guys who provide the children have already come.
Oh, right.
There's
But I'm talking about
thousands that have been.
yeah.
Well, I think it all happened probably at the same time because it will cause the collapse. It's one of those things, the chicken and the egg thing between, and it's not just pedophilia. It's people on the take, people paid off senators, and all kinds of bad things have gone on. The deep state, all those guys needed to go to jail, and you got to flush them out. So I think it'll all happen at the same time because if any of them happens one at a time, it would cause the other things to happen too. So if the monetary system crashes, that would be the perfect time to clean up the mess. And if the bunch of people get arrested for the pedophilia issues, that would crash the monetary system. If it's true that it's a third of Congress that's involved, which I believe it is. So yeah, we're heading to a constitutional crisis, my friend. And if you believe Martin Armstrong, who says this is the end of government,
Good, because it's obsolete. It's got to go.
well, yeah, but then what are you going to do for your power and your food? And I mean, the government, although it's obsolete, it has sucked us into its web so that we completely rely on the government for almost everything now. So if you take the government out, you're not going to have any food delivered. You're not going to have any power.
The government doesn't deliver our food to begin with. It's all private corporations, man. It's all
You think
enterprising.
so?
Dude, it will sustain itself. I believe in the power of the creativity of people.
I do too, but it's not going to be a smooth transition. We haven't.
I mean,
we've lived in a nanny state our whole lives. You and me.
It's time to take away the teat. That's it.
But are you ready for it?
I'm ready for it. I've been ready for it.
Yeah,
I got my aquaponics all set up.
Who's gonna smooth out those roads that you want to race your high-powered car on? Oh, that's the government.
You know what that means? I will be bending a rim every 5 feet.
Exactly. And you can take the government with taxes.
We need the government. They cannot.
I mean, we are so into the web of government as a necessity that it's going to be shocking for people if the government's not there.
If I can't do 150 on I-95 without breaking the rim, then we need the government, bro.
There you go. There you go. And for protection and military protection, you name it. I mean, we are completely reliant upon the government. Although mentally we like to think that we're our own freewheeling entrepreneurs, free-thinking people, but they have set it up so that we are reliant upon the government.
Yep, those wily SOBs, man.
And the government's going away, according to Martin Armstrong, which I believe 100%. Especially if you arrest a third of them for a third of Congress for pedophilia problems. So we're in. I mean, everybody says to me, I'm too optimistic. And I say, you're going to lose everything you ever had. You're going to probably die because your system's going to fall apart. But at the end of the day, there's a rainbow because the road to Ruta theory says at the end of the day, we go back onto a gold standard and everything is rosy.
You're too optimistic.
And they say, you're too optimistic. I tell them they're going to lose everything they ever had. And they say, oh, you're too optimistic. I would hate to think what being pessimistic is.
Oh, dude, I could steer you in the direction of some pessimistic fellows if you'd like to hear you. I mean, you would immediately listen to these guys. My God, I mean, forget about it. You'd want to run into your basement and start eating cat food.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
I mean, there's like a zero-sum game. There's like no scenario but death. I'm like, really, guys? Really? I mean, come on.
Well, if you run the scenarios, that's all you got, unless you want to leave the planet.
I'm already working on that.
We can do that. We can. I think we've had the capability for a long time. Just judging from the crap I see flying around in the skies, and all the firsthand accounts of all this stuff. I mean, it just makes sense that we're not the only intelligent things in the universe.
All I want to do is, before the crap hits the fan, I want to be able to find Bigfoot.
I know you do.
That's all I want to do, bro. I want to try to communicate with it, gorilla to gorilla.
What would be the first thing you'd say to him?
Do you want an apple? I heard they like apples.
You want an apple?
That's true.
You're such a smooth talker.
I don't know if apple's a euphemism for like
I thought
an
they ate
organ or
bananas.
something.
I thought they ate bananas.
You're probably right. You're probably right. I
Well,
mean,
what do
this is
you
a
eat? What do you eat? Yeah, pizza?
yes. In fact, you're right. I will offer a New York slice, an authentic New York slice. That smooths it out forever. Nothing brings people together like pizza. But now, thanks to Pizzagate, it's been a terrible euphemism. But I'm gonna be
I
honest,
know. Every time I hear the word pizza now, I think Pizzagate.
I
It sucks.
cringe.
It
It's
sucks that one of my favorite foods has been misaligned with these animals.
dude. If you get over here to New York, I will take you to the best pizzeria in the entire country. Period.
Well, yeah, I've had New York pizza. I know the whole thin slice, greasy thing.
You gotta
I've just,
fold it, and we put the napkin in, and it's just the aerated crust and that
I don't know.
delicious cheese and that sweet San Marzano tomato sauce. Mwah! It's
I'm
perfect.
more of a Chicago thick crust guy.
Ah, blasphemy!
They're
I
both
like.
good though. Don't get me wrong. They're both good.
Hey, they make the best hot dogs in Chicago, hands down.
Oh, definitely,
And those
definitely.
Italian sandwiches with the Italian roast beef sandwiches, the Giordana in there, and all that. Oh my God, you gotta like kind of eat it leaning forward so it doesn't drip all over you.
What do we have in California? Vegetables and sushi.
Uh, yeah, man, and
Pretty
and
much
fish tacos.
fish tacos. Well, Mexican food. We have good Mexican food in California.
That you do. That you do. Hey, what's that famous Mexican joint you guys have over there?
In San Francisco or
Oh, it's like
where?
all over California.
All over. Taco Bell.
No, not Taco Bell though. What's the other one? Something fresh?
Oh,
Hey, you guys have In-N-Out Burger. Pff,
oh
that's
yeah.
saying a lot.
That's awesome. That's the best.
Oh, dude, In-N-Out Burger. Oh my God. It should be preserved as a uh, it just needs to be like that needs to be protected by the government. In-N-Out Burger. There you go.
You want the government to provide you with the things you want and need, but everything else you want to be, take care of yourself. Is that it?
Just take care. Look, all I want from the government is this: government should do nothing but national defense, make smooth roads so I can take my car at 150 miles an hour, and then provide park benches. That's the only thing I want from government, Bix. Nothing else. I don't want them to
Yeah.
tax me. I don't want them to meddle in my life. I don't want them touching education. That's it.
I hear it. It's
Only provide park benches and highways for me to drive fast on, and then national defense. That's it.
How can we get from here to there though? I mean, the problem with the economic system, with the social systems, is getting from here where we are today, this mixed up, screwed up way we live, to something more sound, more in line with the Constitution. It's going to take a collapse of everything, and that's the scary part. That's where millions will die, and that's why they've been putting it off for so long. I mean, they should have done this back when the bad guys took out Kennedy. But no, Alan Greenspan had to go invent computer programs to rig the markets that we have to live under today.
Which brings us to the next thing.
Where would we like to go from here?
I don't even know. Let's go to Bitcoin since we're going about computer rigging.
Yes. Bitcoin's ready to rock again. So load up. It's what's it? 1,200 now again.
Dude, it is rocking and rolling, bro.
And just think, if you walk down your street of where you live, and you knock on doors, say you knock on 20 doors, how many people will own any Bitcoin at all? How many people will even know about Bitcoin?
Yeah. For real. Like, you'll be lucky to find one.
You'd be lucky to find one even here, California, where Bitcoin is probably the most popular thing in Silicon Valley. Still, the vast majority of people down in Silicon Valley have no idea, what Bitcoin is, how to get it, how it works. It's amazing that something like Bitcoin has been able to appreciate so greatly over time with just the tiniest amount of human beings knowing about it. Just wait until central banks and banks in general around the world print money to buy Bitcoin. Think about that. Unlimited money printing just to get their hands on a very limited asset. 21 million coins is all that will ever be produced. With gold and silver, you can always find a big gold mine somewhere, or secret gold, or silver. You can always find more silver somewhere. And if you think about here's one of the things I've been thinking about on the gold and silver front. I've been going through some debates with people about, is there any secret gold or is there not secret gold? Would we know about it? Would the government tell you if it was secret gold? No, they wouldn't. But how much gold is available? I would say unlimited, because we're not talking only about planet Earth. We are talking, if we really do have a secret space program, and these things I see flying around in the sky has the potential to be other civilizations, other forms of humans or non-humans, whatever. They probably have access to other planets and other natural resources on those planets, and I would say it's unlimited the amount of gold and silver is available. Whereas if you go to other planets to mine it, whereas Bitcoin, 21 million only. So there's another feather in the hat for Bitcoin as we go down the scarcity dilemma. Is that gold and silver are scarce on planet Earth? Yeah. Are they scarce on every planet, in every solar system, in the universe? Probably not, if you add them all up. So yeah, but Bitcoin is 21 million by definition, by the protocol. So there you have it. The only thing that scares me about Bitcoin is not the the protocol and all that is sound and fine. What scares me is the ability to store it without the government seeing your numbers, knowing that the government is in every electronic device. They probably have every single Bitcoin wallet that was created on the internet, the private address. So make sure when you create your Bitcoin wallets to make sure you create them offline and have them never go back online again until you're ready to spend them.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's tremendous, man, to see all these things that are happening, and I mean, all the inroads that Bitcoin is doing right now. And I think with the adaptation rate is at a point where it's fever pitch and it's completely unignorable.
I know, but still, walk down your street. It's amazing how many people.
Nobody knows it.
I mean, out of all my friends and relations, non-internet related, I would say the only people who have Bitcoin, except for one guy, I know one guy who works in the industry. The only people who have Bitcoin are the people I got into Bitcoin. And it's not many. A lot of people say, oh, you're crazy. But it's not, well, online, yeah, Road to Ruta has gotten many people into Bitcoin, got them understanding Bitcoin, got them investing in Bitcoin. But of my friends and family, very, very few people. And I would say you and Ivy are on the leading edge of Bitcoin because we know what it is. That's all it takes to be leading edge these days.
Yeah.
Compared to everybody else in humanity.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Which brings us to the next thing. What else is on your radar, my man? I think
silver is I think we're nearing that point. I do think we're nearing that point where the United States ends the silver manipulation. There's two new, I know you're going to laugh, two new people that were put in place at the CFTC who are, both of them are supposed to safeguard manipulation, safeguard the markets from manipulation. One guy is the head of the enforcement division of the CFTC, and the other guy is a new guy. He's the head of something new called market intelligence. Now, why wasn't there a market intelligence guy there before at the CFTC is what I want to know. But Ted Butler has written a great letter that everybody needs to email and mail to the CFTC, informing them of the current short position by the 4 largest traders and why it is completely illegal. Go to roadtoruta.com. The very top article is Ted Butler's letter. Just copy and paste it. Don't add anything about gold manipulation or anything else. Just copy and paste that letter, because we have to be very specific when making these arguments to the CFTC about silver manipulation, why the concentrated short position is by definition illegal manipulation, and it's only 4, the maximum of 4 traders, most likely just 1 or 2, JP Morgan being one of them, and Citibank being the other one, which is kind of proven out in the OCC documents, the Office of Comptroller of Currencies. They have a quarterly derivative list that they send out, and the 2 big ones, the only 2 banks invested significantly in silver derivatives are J.P. Morgan and Citibank. And
Yeah.
if they're not exposed, but they both probably are doing it as agents of the U.S. government. So it gets to that question of when will the government decide in the basement of the Treasury to click the mouse and say we're not playing this game anymore. And I do think they will, because I think we're losing everything. We're losing everything to Asia. All our manufacturing has already gone, and we're going to lose everything else. So I think it's time to end the game. And I think the U.S. through Trump and the good guys, and even the Treasury, Mnuchin's going to try to hold on as long as he can, but he'll be taken out when the crash happens. Very exciting time for silver, and the ultimate price of silver, where it can go and where it should go. I think it'll go 1-to-1 with gold. And I think I'll sell when it's at 2-to-1, sell half of my silver holding when it's a 2-to-1 to gold, and then the rest when it's 1-to-1. And then I'll look for something else to invest in, probably Bitcoin or Ethercoin.
Ethereum, right?
Ethereum, yeah. It's not called Ethercoin because it's theoretically it's not a coin. It's not a means of exchange. It's a token. It's a blockchain technology type of thing where it's a platform to build blockchain technologies. It's a great, I mean, out of all the cryptos, that's my second favorite is Ethereum.
Yeah, Ethereum is very good.
Yeah, and it's gone up, wow, 10 times practically in the last month or 2 months.
What is it trending at right now?
$50.
That's pretty good, man. For something that started off at what, like $2 at some point?
Well, they start off at zero. All of them start off at zero. But it was $7 back 2 months ago.
Oh.
So nice. Yeah, it's one of those things where everybody thinks, oh my God, if I had put $10,000 in Ethereum when it was $7, I would have $70,000 now. Yeah, same with Bitcoin. But we're gonna look back in 2 years from now and say, oh my God, I wish I had bought Bitcoin at over at $1,200. It's over $100,000 per coin right now. I wish I had put all my money. We're gonna listen to this very video and say, oh my God, Bix and V knew what was going on way back when. They should have bought Bitcoin at $1,200. It was cheap. It was free.
Yeah, basically, it was being gifted.
I think
the greatest investment right now. I mean, look at the price of silver, man. It's a gift.
That's the screaming buy of all screaming buy. The sad thing is, I've been in silver 17 years, and I wish I never found silver, anything about silver, until today. And then I would have bought all the silver I could, and reap all the rewards.
I'm telling you, man, it's remarkable.
But truthfully, it's been a learning process. You go through all these. I never knew the markets were rigged until I dug into it with the GATA guys back in the early 2000s. And then you think, oh, it's the banks rigging it, Goldman Sachs, it's J.P. Morgan. And then you learn, oh my God, it's our federal government and the Federal Reserve. And then it gets up to the U.S. Treasury. And the more you dig into this rabbit hole, the more you think, are we living in reality, or is this some kind of weird video game that we're being danced around in like the puppets that we are? And we don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but we react to it the way they want us to react to it. So, yeah, it's really interesting times. The waking up process is invaluable. I think everybody needs to go through it, and everybody will when the banks crash.
Yeah, everybody definitely will. I mean, speaking of banks crashing, have you seen what's going on in Venezuela?
Venezuela, yeah, well, it's ugly there.
It's the mother of all protests, man. It's crazy.
That's socialism for you, my friends.
Well, that's what's going to happen in California, bro.
All right, well,
remember that chart I told you about? The liberal lunacy scale. Once that begins to go up, the happiness scale begins to fall.
Yeah, they're pulling out guns in the Venezuela riots now. And
yeah, some protester got shot. I think she got shot in the back of the head, and she survived in an emergency surgery right now. But it's just like it's just the type of lunacy.
Free healthcare. She gets free healthcare though.
That's true. That's true. And there's free electricity, so you might as well take advantage of that and start Bitcoin mining.
Well, they confiscate that down there. Didn't you hear about the Bitcoin miner that got confiscated? Well, the government took the Bitcoin because they know that very soon everybody's going to be going to Bitcoin.
I did not hear that story that they actually confiscated, shut it down.
That it was a singular, one of the larger miners was using basically because they give you free electricity, it's a no-brainer to mine Bitcoin in Venezuela. But they shut it down and they confiscated all the equipment and probably the Bitcoin, unless they were smart enough to hide it away, which most likely they did.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, the world is changing, and unless we embrace it and change with it, we're going to be left behind.
Absolutely. That's why it's important that, you have to stay flexible and be able to witness opportunities and leverage, man. That's the whole thing. That's what people need to be doing is not be fearful and be able to leverage.
Leverage with money or leverage with what?
Opportunities. Just know where the trends are going, see the opportunities, and try to figure out how you could leverage those situations for your benefit.
So we're not talking financial leverage. We're talking leveraging, jumping on opportunities.
Absolutely.
We're not talking about borrowing 10-1 from a bank and going out and betting on the stock market to go up.
I mean, we can't talk about that. Let's talk about that. How to use other other financial entities' monies, and then going out and betting it on Wall Street, and then.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting thing is because the stock market is such a barometer for the financial system. When we have, like in 2008, people freaked out because the stock market went down 50% or whatever it went down in 2008, and that's it's one of those things. It's the reverse of what Larry Summers teaches at Harvard. He teaches that the behavioral economics theory, that if you say things are good and if you pretend things are good, people will go out and spend and actually make things good. And the reverse of that is even worse. When people can see things are bad and they think their money is being destroyed and they think their opportunities are being destroyed, they're not going to spend, and it's going to cause the implosion. So I think we've hit the point where there's going to be no more happy talk going forward. And then you have the reverse of the behavioral economics theory. I guess it's not the reverse. It is just the downside of it. The same thing works in reverse. That if people think things are bad, they're going to go out and make it bad by selling stock and not spending and blah, blah, blah.
Or they could have those inverse effects, man. I mean, there's some people who get depressed about things and they go out and they do compulsive shopping.
Well, yeah,
and compulsive investing
on a credit card. Yeah, I don't know about that, but I completely agree with Cliff High's latest report, the Two Tribes report, that basically says it's going to be conflict in everything, between governments, between people, in your personal life, in your social structure, at work. I mean, we've really hit this part of human development that is getting into this conflict part, which is very scary, and well, we have to go through it. And Cliff thinks it has to do with the part of the Milky Way that our sun is currently traveling through. And if you want to get real deep, it's the rays that are being given off by our white sun. Our sun is now white, in case you hadn't noticed.
I noticed this years ago. It's no longer a yellow sun.
Yeah, well, it's going through a denser part of the Milky Way. The space is not a vacuum. It's because the sun is traveling at 70,000 kilometers per second through around the Milky Way. We are behind the sun in the sun's coma, and it is a vacuum directly behind the sun. But in front of the sun, it's not a vacuum. It's burning up this whatever's out there, and the sun's getting brighter and hotter. And that's my theory. That's Cliff's theory. Believe what you want. I do have a really interesting report about chemtrails and the sun on Roto-Rooter in the resources section that was supposedly written by a deep insider. I don't know if he's a good guy, probably a good guy, from what it all makes sense too. The science of it. It's kind of the opposite of what. Well, you got to read it. Go into the resources tab. It's called Geoengineering, Chemtrails, and Ascension.
Oh, give us a hint, Bix. Come on.
I just told you the sun is expanding and it's getting hotter, and the rays that are coming. The reason they spray up there is not to poison us; it's to protect us from what was the sun's rays that are coming in, because the sun is expanding. But because of the proximity of a couple of the plants right now, we're being pulled farther away from the sun, which is like a natural way for us to back up and let the sun expand. But we're way too close to the sun right now,
Yeah.
and we need to back up, and which we are supposedly. But yeah, Cliff did a video on this just recently and posted it about chemtrails, and yes, they're spraying bad stuff that's not good for us, but at the same time, they're reflecting a lot of the rays from the sun, the neutrinos. It also stops the Earth expansion. But ultimately, Mother Nature's going to win and do whatever she wants. So humans trying to stop nature from doing what it needs to do is usually not a good thing.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, man. Did you see the plunging used car prices? And
Well, I saw
what's
that coming.
happening?
Yeah, I saw it coming a long time ago with all the 3 to 5 year leases that were being written
Yeah.
3 to 5 years ago, and it was obvious that when all these cars come onto the market, the used car market would just get destroyed. It happens a lot in the trucking industry as well. Back in my old job, we used to do a lot of fleet leases, and you don't want to be holding a used asset when everybody and their mother is holding the same asset. And yeah, the used market, it's a great time. It will be a great time to buy a used car in the next year.
Oh, dude, you telling me I have my eye on an M5, bro?
Okay, as if I know what an M5 is.
Look it up, dude. It is a
It's a
Bavarian.
highway. It's a highway in England.
Damn it, you're right. But it's also a Bavarian cruise missile, not a Bavarian cream pie.
I was going to say.
Yeah. Yeah, here's the deal. Once hedge fund darlings, almost no one is more perfectly aligned to get obliterated by the falling car used prices than America's auto rental companies, Hertz and Avis. Combined basis, Hertz and Avis dump about 400,000 vehicles per year into the used car market and operates fleets that are multiple times higher. With used car prices plunging, bondholders are starting to get slightly anxious about the collateral impact of writing down billions of dollars worth of capital assets.
Oh
huge,
yeah,
huge problem, bro.
and the banks that lend to the banks don't hold those car loans that they give out. They wrap them up in asset-backed securities and then put them out there. So who owns all this stuff? It's like hedge funds and retirement accounts. They take tranches of the asset-backed securities. Everything's securitized. Everything's wrapped into a derivative these days. Just another, imagine all the retirement funds taking even bigger hits than they are today. Retirement funds are gone.
Every time I drive around these days, I look at dealerships. They're not moving cars. And out of nowhere, you'll see like a land being cleared, and then tarmac being put down, and then it's populated with excess inventory of cars that dealerships can't get rid of. I've seen dealerships leasing out parking spaces from malls, from hotels. I mean, it's ridiculous at this point.
Yeah.
They just keep moving. Nobody's buying.
But it's not something that couldn't be predicted. And when you saw all the leases go on, short-term lease, 3 to 5 years, they're all coming back, especially when people who are leasing those cars are seeing that they can go out and buy a used car of the exact same kind for half the price that the leasing company wants to sell them their car. And leasing companies screwed because they put a residual on that car that they have to cover or they're going to take a loss. It's just it's one of those things that feeds upon itself, and it's already bad. It's going to get a lot worse.
Oh man, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And if you're in the market for a used car or even a home, it's best to wait as prices start to dip down.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
There'll be a time, but at that time you'll be scared to buy one, and you won't be able to get the financing. So it's
unless you leverage yourself.
But you won't be able to leverage yourself in the future. When the housing prices crash.
I'm gonna go get an M5 using an ounce of gold. Watch.
Okay. You own gold still? I don't own any gold. I sold all my gold for silver. You can get 70 ounces of silver for just 1 ounce of gold.
Of course, I still own gold, but I have.
Why would you own gold when you can own silver 70 times as much?
I have silver, but it becomes a logistical nightmare, man. I can't,
darn, my billions! I don't know where to store my billions of dollars worth of silver.
It's a pain, I tell you, a total pain.
But
Dude, I had a
silver's
client.
going to go up 70 times what gold's going to go up. 70.
It's still a logistical nightmare. It's expensive to vault. It's expensive to carry. Now check this out. I had a client. I kid you not. Had like close to 17,000 ounces of silver, and wanted to have it transport. I'm like, are you? I'm like, that's 2,000 pounds of silver. I mean, my God, it's crazy.
That's nothing. The LBMA claims to transfer 450 million ounces every single day, according to the LBMA.
Yeah.
According to their data, that's how much silver is, quote, transferred every day. Which
4 million ounces?
450 million ounces of silver.
I don't even believe that at all. That's horse crap.
It is complete bullshit.
It's horse crap.
They say that it's that those are real transactions, are real physical transactions. It's ridiculous.
In my ass. It's lead. It's silver dipped lead. That's what they're giving out people.
It's paper. It's not even paper contracts anymore. It's electronic.
It's electronic contracts. Yeah, 450 million ounces of. So we got that. I mean, the West is smoking crack
every day.
Literally.
How many forklifts would that take?
Can you imagine like 16,000 ounces is like 2,000 pounds? You know?
Wait a minute. Wait. Is it 16,000 ounces? That's a half a ton.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So
2,000. So it's 1,000.
Yeah, 1,000 pounds. So I mean, you thinking about it? I mean, 450 million ounces a day. I mean, they are absolutely just blowing smoke.
Oh yeah. Same thing on the comics. Well, the comics it even says their futures and options. So that
that's why they never list who the buyers are.
But the LBMA says it's physical transfers.
Oh yeah, physical transfers. And then meanwhile, there's no ships, there's no cars, there's no vans, there's nothing moving out of there.
No, maybe one Loomis truck a day or something. I don't know.
If that.
And yeah, you're right. Okay, so you don't want the 70 times return on your investment. So
no,
stick with gold.
I don't want that.
I understand. Because it's
so much easier, man.
Too hard to store your 50 tons of silver that you have. I get it.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I'll tell you, a few months ago, my partner in Hong Kong, he did what was it 50 total 110 metric tons in 1 month.
Damn.
So 110 metric tons, bro. How many? And that's from one client. That was from a U.S. based client, and it's vaulted in Singapore. It's crazy. 110 metric tons. That is
3.5 million ounces.
Yeah, 3.5 million ounces, and plus the premium. I think the guy did.
But you juxtapose that to the LBMA saying they transfer 410 or 450 million ounces every single day.
Yeah, it's horse crap.
It is completely
not even possible. Not even possible.
And that's why the LBMA will soon be shut down, closed for good. And I think once that happens, I think the comics will be closed for good as well. And then you got to wonder where gold and silver will even be priced, because there is no other.
Well, what's going to happen is they're going to lose the pricing, and then LBMA is going to go back to just doing what they do best, which is just purity and verification standards. That's it. Using the LBMA standards.
Where will the price of silver be determined? There is no
Shanghai, man. It's already happening, bro.
Not on silver. They're just trading
gold, right? But it'll be silver soon. I don't know. Maybe Mexico, maybe India. I have no idea. Maybe
it should be South America where they pull all the silver from.
Exactly. Maybe Argentina.
But with a blockchain type solution, as far as are these transactions really happening?
That's another question.
That's my take. The blockchain can be used to verify a whole bunch of things. And I think one of the most important uses of the blockchain in the future is to verify gold and silver holdings and transactions.
Yeah.
That's the world according to Bix.
And that brings us to the end of the show, man. So how can people follow you? Give out your social media, your website, and your
social security number.
Yes, your social security number. Go ahead.
Go to Road to Ruta.
Hold on. I got to write this down. What was it? It's 119
867-5309.
86 or is it 90210?
Yeah, exactly. Go to Road to Ruta YouTubes lately. I'm just doing massive YouTubes. I'm trying to get 17 years of work on the YouTube.
You better start as soon as you get off of this broadcast, man.
I
You got a
know,
lot
I
of
know,
work.
I know, but
17 years is a lot of catching
I
up, man.
know it is, and there's a lot of good information and a lot of new people finding out what the Road to Root is all about, which is cool. But go to roadtoroot.com and sign up for the emails, and you get a free book, Silver, Gold, Bitcoin, and God,
Yeah.
that I wrote a while ago. It's pretty cool, and the final conclusion of that book has not happened yet, so we're very close to that.
Yep, absolutely. And with that being said, folks, I am the majestic hairy one, and we will see you back here next week, same ape time, same ape channel, with the man who is the Pathfinder on the road to Ruta, the Gandalf of Gold, the Sultan of Silver, the Baron of Bitcoin himself, Bix Weir. With that being said, we are over and out. Take it away, CJ.